Hey, Mr. Focus buddy who never smiles. I didn't know what to do with him.
Got it. Thanks. Well, Silence.
I'm glad it's there, actually. It kept me from having to mingle with the company you keep. But enough prattle. I believe you owe me an explanation. Your plans for the Zenith base?
You're right. I do owe you. My spear in your throat for deceiving me again. At the Hades Proving Lab.
I doubt you asked me here for that kind of reckoning.
No. Right now, I need your help. So I'm giving you one final chance. But if you ever betray me again, I will kill you no matter what the circumstance. Understood?
Very well. Though we'll both face a decidedly short future if you can't get us inside that base.
Aloy, your other guest is here. She's, coming to you.
Thanks. Good timing. The truth is, I can't actually get us into the base. But she can.
The company you keep is even worse than I thought.
Not a fan of surprises, are you? Oh, look. That must be your little invention.
Does the weapon work? Without self-destructing?
Of course it does. I've eliminated the imperfections and greatly improved its design. And I'll care for a demonstration.
Enough, both of you. We're in this together. At least for now. Go talk to Erend. Tell him I said to give you rooms of your own. I'll come see you when I get a chance.
Oh, no. You first.
Better get everyone in the control room, so Tilda can tell us what she knows about the Zenith base.
Did you see Kotallo's new arm? I never thought I'd see metal bound to flesh in that way.
Yeah, he seems happy with it. Probably because he could crush me like a grape with it.
That is a happy thought.
Aloy!
Wish I could say we don't need them. Even Regalla.
Yeah. And...
Right. I guess Silence is keeping to himself.
I was hoping he'd give me an excuse to hammer his sorry ass.
Please don't.
You telling me you wouldn't want to get just one good hit on that after everything he's done?
Sure. Later. Doesn't look like any of our guests are...
Yet. So, Kotallo tells me I've been busting my balls trying to learn to read. You're...
Don't worry. You'll be getting all the fun you...
Looking forward to it.
You,
I tried. I don't think even... And you say she wants to help?
I think so.
Oh, you know...
Aloy, I'm glad to see you're okay. I heard you gave the Tenakth something to... I was half expecting you to burst in through the ceiling writing.
Sorry to disappoint. Have you talked to any of...
Erend and I tried speak, but apparently our...
Charming, isn't he? Ready to head over to the Zenith...
Whatever comes?
Thoughts on our new...
I'd say she smells like death, but even death... She's more like a cold piece of metal.
She's... I have to go.
I'll make sure Erend...
Thanks.
You flew? Kotallo told... You know what? I saw we have visit. Does this mean we're ready to take the...
Almost. Are you okay?
I was wondering. She seems angry. The kind of...
Don't worry. We're going to point the Zeniths.
If you say.
I hope our new guests have been...
This Silence. He's the one who built the weapon that can take...
He is. Though I wouldn't... He refuses to dole out his secrets.
Oh.
You know that special part of us? That...
Our...
Yeah. You sure you're... I know things must be happening.
I've already braved ocean. Why not a few immortals with lethal...
Guess the more the merrier. I suppose you saw that
I almost went up to her to ask her, well, every diviner I know would kill to get 5 minutes with... But now that she's here, I don't know if I'm scared of finding out more. Probably both. I'll be ready.
And then fight like you can win. I will, Rost. Now and always. Focus. It's Varl's. I used to think no Nora would ever accept one. But Varl did. Even when he was overwhelmed. He refused to let me push him away. With Regalla out of the way, Hekarro and Tenakth, they're safe. The future's up to them now. I do wish they'd drop all the honorary names they've given me. But if I've learned anything about them, that it's not a battle I am going to win.
There you are. Well done, Aloy. Despite my reservations, you managed to secure Silence and his weapon. You're truly a shining example of Liz's fortitude.
I've been thinking about what you said at your house. How you were friends with Elizabeth. It was more than that, wasn't it?
Perceptive as ever. You're right, we were together for a time.
Okay, so... what happened?
I was an orphan. I had always been alone. By my 30s, I was starting to wonder if that was simply my fate in life. And then I met Liz. We kept running into each other at conferences. We'd have coffee. At some point, it became drinks. I thought it was just shop talk, an exchange of ideas, but then I was surprised at how much I looked forward to seeing her. Soon we were flying halfway across the world every other week just to meet up. For the first time, I didn't feel lonely. I could imagine a future where I wasn't. I think Liz felt the same way at first. She had lost her mother a few years back. I filled a void for her. I know I did. But as time passed, it seemed as though she wanted less when I wanted more. And so we ended things.
So helping me, restoring Elizabeth's dream, it's what,
a second chance, yes. I made a mistake leaving Earth while Liz stayed behind. I should have done more. So when I saw you, a woman who has carved her own remarkable path, beyond even what made Liz a phenomenon, I knew I had to help you. To do right by her.
Why did you make the data channel look like
I built that house as a shelter to weather a safe place, not just for me. Cultural artifacts of incalculable value. Truly, some of the greatest achievement.
And you wanted Beta to...
Yes. I thought if she could experience Verm, it would bring something else. A heritage every bit as valuable. Data being drummed. I'm sorry I had to cut off contact, but she needed its shelter.
When I was in the ruins of Vegas, I think he was a Zenith.
Stanley, ever the optimist. When we established our colony, he built an exact replica. Lights, shows, gambling, and while others cloistered themselves in their own, he flung his doors wide.
The way you're talking about him, I'm guessing he didn't make it back to Earth?
No, he perished. He would have been thrilled to discover that part of his beloved.
When Beta escaped and hid in I saw another one of the Zeniths. Who was she?
A dull star amidst a sea of brighter. Unlike most of Far Zenith's men, amassed their wealth through shrewd business deals and tech. Verbena inherited her billions. Her father had achieved great success at age 24, she became the world's most elegant, branding herself someone who leverages their fame to influence.
What? Like a cult?
In a way, yes.
Well, she must have done something right to have survived the—
She was her own brand of ruthless. But even rats can cling to a—
What can you tell me about your—
He was the head of the world's largest and as such had dealings with almost every major. It made him one of the wealthiest people on Earth, and certainly the wealthiest.
What does one person do with that much money?
Buy more power. Gerard's always believed himself able to maintain control, but beneath that exterior is a cold— It was his decision to restrict the avatars of the Apollo data while we were painted as her
Well, we'll deal with him soon enough.
I would very much like to see his face.
So, Eric.
I believe he got worse over time. On Earth, he was the founder of a profitable private military, a band of cutthroats. Even as governments abandoned human combat, he found success with clientele that required him more. There were also rumors that he personally, all for the thrill of it. But on Sirius, he retreated to virtual. In them, he could go on rampage, though I suspect with
all of his tribe believes he was one of the greatest people.
Then they would be quite disappointed, though I'm sure he'd bask in the...
Okay, so I've had run-ins with a handful of Zeniths.
An array of the wealthiest people on Earth. Titan.
And let me guess.
Most, but not all. There were a few with whom I got. Annika Merjani, for instance, was always delighted. She founded the Holonet's most successful dance channel and was herself mesmerized. And I had fascinating discussions with Songe. Our immortality treatments are due in part to her. But then there were others like Devin Miller, the CEO of a fast. His only real preoccupations were perfecting his goal. When I think about all of us, we really should have accomplished more.
You said before that you're not like that you never were.
Out of necessity. Both when Earth was consumed and when the colony... I did what I had to try to undo what... Hence the data channel with Beta. And the little trick I pulled to save you.
When it's time to break into the Zenith base,
I'll go over the full layout once you've assembled your front. Suffice it to say, we will need to push as fast as dealing with heavy resistance along. There are also printing facilities where the others have been in the natural resources they've stripped from the...
What for?
First for use in the base's infrastructure, and then to fabricate a small army of them.
When I was out in the wilds, I saw a shuttle take off from the island.
It was likely ferrying materials. After hundreds of years... comforts. The ship was barely space-worthy when we made... Disaster can strike at any moment.
Why do you think Elizabeth...
I've wondered that for She was brilliant. She cared so deeply for... But it also felt like she kept everyone at arm's length. Sometimes I wonder if anyone really...
I found a recording of you after Far Zenith's attempt.
Yes.
I think she regretted how things...
Did she? Thank you. I've always hated that. As if not who I truly...
Have you figured out how...
No, and he's been very... I'll admit it bothers me, but I am confident it will deactivate the others.
How many of them are in...
10. Only a handful of us made it to our ship when our colony...
Okay.
I'll be here until then. And thank you, Aloy, for giving me this. My past has always been a struggle. More than once I've lost everything. I see Liz's dream fulfilled.
Maybe we can make it happen.
We will. I won't let any...
You know, we've never played Machine Strike together.
Haven't seen you since the battle at the Grove.
I saw you fly on the wings of the 10. I would say that I am...
Thank you.
It is I.
Your people keep...
The challengers leap into the arena during the cool, and now, like the deeds of the... So?
I won't lie.
I can only imagine.
Did you meet Tilda?
There is something about her that I wouldn't be surprised if my sword went through her and...
Honestly, with her, I bet people are curious.
None more than our Quen ally. She couldn't wait to take it apart. In fact, I gave her the data I used, hoping that would set...
Good luck with that. Things will get ugly once you'll need every trick you've ever learned.
I would have it. Many soldiers died in the old world to make... We will endure on... Though, I am curious, without an army...
Leave that to me.
As you say.
Look, I know you're probably not... But I want her on our side when we...
It is more than she deserves.
Thank you, Katana. I have to go.
Understand. My bow.
Anything new going on?
The Quen has been more... Her pursuit of knowledge is relentless.
Just think of her like...
Yes.
I need...
As do I.
There's Quen stuff in here now. Must be all of us.
Did you need something? Bravo, you managed to sway a Zenith to yourself.
Not a chance. I thought you said the weapon was...
There's always room, but that's not why you're here. I assume you want to comprehend my under...
Since when were you...
Since you turned this into a modest success.
Okay, so your big plan, everything you... Let me see if I got this straight. You learned about the Zeniths from Hades, then you came up with a plan to defeat them by using... and to get the Tenakth to fight for you, or rather the Sons of Prometheus.
Did you have an actual question, or are you...
So all this time, even before you were out here scheming, why couldn't you...
When I learned of the Zenith's return to Earth, I knew I would one day require an army to assault the Zenith base. The casualties would be, and I knew you would never allow such a Thus, I devised an at the Hades proving.
You wanted me to surrender to the Zenith at the Hades proving...
Based on everything I knew about them, I concluded they would find you, thereby keeping you out of harm's way, and more important...
So you really didn't know they had their own clone of Elizabeth?
No. Unfortunately...
Detail? Well, I guess if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't be here to... Why create the... You didn't need a Sarah to make a...
They were a necessary safeguard. The eclipse demonstrated the risks of getting through the Sons of Prometheus, all while remaining...
Except... How did you get a Sarah?
I knew there was an associate of Durval, who escaped his... It was trivial to track her down. She wanted to succeed with...
So you promised her Regala. And the Sarah would help you create a machine and wanted to see Meridian burn as much...
And so a partnership was born out of thirst for blood. But
you think you had everything figured...
I did.
Tell me about the weapon.
I've upgraded the delivery. It now emits a wave-like effect covering a
That doesn't fully...
No. But I'd be... After all, why did you withhold your plan for dealing with the... Yes. Even... Suffice it to say that the weapon will... The intricacies of how...
Why help Regala take over?
Before Regala's rebellion, battling machines and fostering friendships with... Even if I gained his... He would never agree to send his forces to battle...
So helping a bloodthirst...
Yes. All Regala craved was war. Against the Khar, she would have led the tribe into battle, which was precise.
While I was out there, I had a couple run...
The tribe from across the...
Their entire tribe was shaped around the discovery. One of them, Alva, even... Don't you want to know more about them?
No. They stemmed from the ancient world, and what did they... They shrouded the knowledge they unearthed in mystics, creating a pantheon out of...
Yes, well...
Did it now?
So those run-ins with the... On one of them I teamed up with their expedition. We found Pharaoh at the end.
You must have needed Omega clearance. So,
Worse than you can imagine.
he single-handedly wiped out collective human. I'm sure it was still less than he...
Let me guess. You would have scraped him into a jar like what you did with Hades.
For a start.
Alright, Silence. I think I'll let you know when it's time to go. And try not to mess with Tilda. I don't need the two of you butting heads.
Ah, yes. I wonder if you understand what kind of... For someone to live as long as she has, well, your goals may...
Yeah, I'm aware.
Survival is only in this... I'd hoped you'd recognize that by now.
Do you know something or not?
Oh, I know a great deal of things.
Oh, a feeling. You mean you This'll break my fall.
This place smells wrong. No sand or wind, only cold steel. And the others up there, your squad.
They can hold their own. As for this base, it may not be what you're used to, but it is a shelter.
Call it what it is. A cage.
You came here on your own.
For the battle you promised. So for now I wait in my cage for your word. Tell me when to strike.
The whole time I've been in the West, I've been fighting you. I'd at least like to know why.
You were among the enemy. What more?
Why did you...
Dorok, Jiroka, Makalo. And the Karja pushed into the desert to raid. My brother's squad was among... But the Karja captured them, strung them up, and burned them up. It was too late.
So you wanted vengeance?
Vengeance. To tear down the Karja's city, hunt down every last survivor, and grind their bones. But my chief betrayed me.
How did Hikaru... Fashav told me how he became a marshal. He earned it just like any Tenakth.
It was an insult. No Outlander can ever deserve to wear our armor, bear our marks. And then a Karja messenger was brought before us? That's when I knew. I had to run my blade through Hikaru and drag his treacherous corpse to the gates of the Sundom.
What happened when the Karja messenger appeared before Hikaru?
The quivering priest bore a message from their new king. No more war. No more raids. Suddenly the Karja wanted to talk peace. An embassy at the very fortress we tore down? A true Tenakth would never take a Karja truce. Their blood exists to be spilled. But Hikaru lapped up the priest's message. He showed himself a Karja-loving traitor when he accepted. That's when I challenged him.
And lost.
His mercy was just another sign of his weakness. I vowed never to rest until the debt was repaid. So with an army of soldiers, and the day you got him.
The deal you made. Override tech in exchange. How did Silence approach?
That name means nothing. My agreement was with the Asarama Sarah and her son.
So all this time, you didn't even know who you... And you trusted an out...
If it was a trick, I would have, but she spoke with the same burning hate. And she offered me the chance to run them down. The terror in your enemy's eyes when they... I bet you...
I don't think so. What about your end of the deal?
Had I killed Hikaru, these Zeniths would have been the first, but because of you. My people...
Because of me, hundreds of Tenakth won't throw away their lives in a battle they can't win. Are you really going to fight?
I have no reason.
Really?
I failed to kill Hekarro, failed to eliminate you. The Carja remain out of my reach. All I have left are the... So...
All right.
Ever since you got in my way, I've wanted. But if I'm to die in battle, then it might as well be with the one who flew.
I'll let you know when it's time to... Oh. I guess this is things.
Aloy, if you were listening to this, then, things didn't go as planned.